right, sports fans, welcome to the Expect Better podcast. On the show today is local legend, restaurateur, entrepreneur, humanitarian,
Geez.
philanthropic, local superstar, Johnny Vazano. Welcome, Johnny.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Great introduction. Can you do it again?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that again without stuttering.
Yes.
So I appreciate you willing to take time out of your schedule. I know you're nuts. I know you're crazy. Your story's awesome. As I always say on my show, I do a lot of research, right? And the things that you've been involved with over the last, 40 years?
40 years. It's amazing. Time flies.
Yeah, it flies. It's really commendable what you've done. So
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on. You were kind of excited too, which is good.
Something different, you know.
Have you done a podcast before?
Not really like this, no.
Not like this?
Not
I'm sure you've been interviewed.
Not this professional.
Not this professional.
I've been interviewed too many times, yeah.
That's a good thing. So I think everybody knows you, and I think that that's a tribute to your hard work and all that you've done, not just in your business and in your family, but in the communities, right, that you've served for many years. But I don't know how close a lot of people really know you, and myself included. I've played in your golf tournament, by the way, every year I think that you've had it.
It's
played with Larry.
29 years.
29 years. Larry's your cousin, right?
Larry's my cousin,
Is he your first cousin?
my second cousin, but he's like
Second cousin?
like my brother.
Like a brother, yeah. Larry's great.
He's another guy that follows the hard work ethic that we have. His family and our family, we were close growing up.
Larry's great. I enjoy playing golf with Larry. Yeah. But I played in your golf tournament, never actually got a chance to sit down with you because you're so crazy. And I'm glad that we're able to use this outlet to kind of connect. And I want people to, and as my goal with everybody that comes on the show, get a deeper understanding of you, your life, what you've been through, your successes, your failures, and just get to know the real Johnny Vazano. Yeah. Some people just maybe see you running around like a madman at a golf tournament. By the way, my favorite vision of you is giving out those little pre-made sandwiches at the golf tournament. Do you make those yourself?
We make them ourselves. It's a special secret jardiniere that we make. Actually, we have a golf tournament Monday from Matt Reale, another local guy.
Yeah, Matt's great.
And I donate them to a lot of the tournaments because the guys recognize them. And it's a hot item right now.
They're great.
Yeah, they're fun. And
you won't tell anyone what's in the secret sandwich?
Never.
What are we calling that sandwich?
We call them we call it the Guinea Grinder.
The Guinea Grinder.
Yeah.
I like that. And it's less is more because there's not a ton of stuff on it.
No, it's not. But we get the bread from the Bronx, so
okay.
You can put anything on it; it'll taste good.
That's true. That's true. Bread from the Bronx, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So I want people to know about you. So I like to start with young Johnny Vazano. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in born in Bridgeport. I'm a Bridgeport guy. Family, North End, and we moved to Trumbull growing up. Had a big family, and it was all about family. I lived on the street with all my relatives. And,
in Bridgeport?
In Trumbull.
In Trumbull?
And it was called Vazano Place.
Oh, okay.
So that was the place where all my friends came over. We had a pool in the middle.
How'd you get your name on the street?
My grandpa, when he came over from Italy a long, long time ago,
okay.
He built. Everybody lived on the street. There was 14 houses with all my aunts and uncles.
In Trumbull.
In Trumbull.
So what year did you move from Bridgeport? How long were you in Bridgeport?
I was just born there.
Okay.
Mainly grew up in Trumbull.
Mainly grew up in Trumbull.
On that street. My grandmother was we called it the Padrone, the pizza hat, because she always had a big hat on.
Okay.
She lived in the middle, and we paid homage to her every week, and
awesome.
Went over there and
Sunday family dinners.
It was traditional.
Every day.
We had dinner every day at 6 o'clock during the week.
Okay.
Fridays were my parents went out usually, so we had TV dinners, which we each ate 5 of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The ones with the corn went into the dessert.
Yeah.
And I was always 300 pounds, so eating was a big part of my life.
Yeah. So tell us. We talked a little bit obviously before we jumped on the show. So you were 300 pounds?
325 was the highest. That was about 7 years ago.
7 years ago. So, middle school, were you always overweight?
I think people told me I carried it well. I don't know if that was just being nice to me, but
300. How tall are you?
6 foot, a little under.
6 feet.
I'm shrinking as I go.
Are you shrinking?
Yeah.
So, so you're in Bridgeport. You moved to Trumbull. Mom and Dad, what did they do?
My father was in the laundry business for 100 years, a Savoy Laundry, and the Three Bears restaurant in Westport that was a family restaurant.
Your dad owned that?
My father and my uncles had it, and so we always were around
the Three Bears restaurant.
It's a local. We sold it a couple years ago.
Okay,
but
what is it now?
Now it's actually a synagogue.
Okay,
but we were there for like 90 years.
Okay,
my family and my uncle was the biggest collector of cut glass.
Okay,
and Tiffany lamps.
Yeah, cool.
So it was like show place
Yeah.
in Westport. It was a local stomping grounds. I mean, Paul Newman was in there all the time.
Wow.
The owner of all the businesses. And yeah,
Sure.
it was a great place to hang out.
Cool. So, Dad's a successful business person, in the laundry business.
Yeah, well, he was a worker.
What's a laundry business, by the way?
So we serviced all the restaurants and butcher places.
Oh, like linens.
with coats and aprons and
Okay.
tablecloths, napkins.
Gotcha.
So we were
So not laundromats.
No.
Okay.
This was a
clarifying.
industrial laundry, and
Gotcha.
then my dad had a few dry cleaners. That
Okay.
he did. With his brothers, and so we were always around business.
Business, yeah.
And the most important thing was work.
Work.
I mean, there was no getting out of.
It's hard to take a break when you
Yeah.
work for yourself.
So and we always had busy times of the year when we had to work a little harder and this and that. But it was crazy times. I mean, my father would say, I'd be going to school, and he would say, you got to go to work and you got to do the Danbury route. And
Yeah.
I would tell my dad, I'm 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But back then it was different. He's like,
So you had that work ethic installed in you early.
yeah. So he would say, drive slow.
Yeah, drive slow.
in a laundry truck, which
Be careful.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So that's what we did back then. It was a different place and time. People were loyal. You drove.
Yeah.
If you did get stopped, they'd say be careful. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right, yeah.
Because they knew you were working. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
You're hustling.
Yeah.
So what about mom?
My mother was a stay-at-home mother. You know what I'm saying? Made dinner every day.
Okay.
She played pinochle 4 nights a week.
They're both still around?
No, both my father died 35 years ago.
Okay.
And my mom just passed about
Sorry to
7
hear
years
that.
ago. Yeah.
Sorry to
So
hear
I
that.
mean, but they, their memory's still alive.
Memory's still alive.
That's it.
How about siblings?
I have 3 sisters. One passed in a fire in Puerto Rico. 90 people died from Connecticut on New Year's Eve about 35 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it was the DuPont Plaza. She was a stockbroker with her clients.
She living there or on vacation?
No, she was on vacation New Year's Eve, and there was a arsonist at a fire in a casino, and she passed.
Wow. I'm sorry.
that-
I don't think
That was kind of
a lot
tough.
people probably don't know that.
No, and that was kind of tough on my parents.
Obviously, yeah.
My father, mother were never the same after that.
Yeah.
So and I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
One brother, Chris, who's with me in the restaurant business. Big part of the business.
He works with you now?
He works with me now. Well,
Okay. What does he do? Is he
just does everything. Like,
okay, whatever need?
Yeah. I have a close network of people. My boys that are graduated now, and Chris, and then Larry, who you mentioned before. Just, you got to have workers because we still have that work ethic.
Yeah.
And it's gotten tougher over the last few years to get people to work. So we do more ourselves.
And you can't do this. You couldn't do this alone with your growth and expansion, right?
No, you can't. But you got to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
I have I think 9 places now that I have bars and restaurants.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go into some detail in a bit about all those.
And I never had a drink in my life.
Never?
I think the last drink I had was at St. Joe's. I had a Miller Lite or something like that. You know.
Really?
Yeah. I was always waiting for that call from my father or my uncle. Come in. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to be
You don't want to be,
out or tired.
Exactly.
Or whatever the hell it is,
Yeah. Exactly. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So Johnny Visano doesn't drink.
No, never did.
That's good. I wish I could say that.
Yes.
I drank like an animal, but I don't drink now. So I'm trying to preserve my liver for the rest of my life. I have to give blood quarterly to take care of that. So
And not to the distillery, right?
no, not the distillery. All right, so let's go through elementary schools now. Where did you go to? Where was your education? Let's talk education.
Went to Nichols School in Trumbull for a year. Then I went to Catholic school right through. So I mean,
Which school did you go
I
to?
went to St. Catherine's.
St. Catherine in Trumbull.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that was a fun time. St. Joseph's High School, and then Sacred Heart, and then it's just moved on from there.
So St. Joe's, when you were in high school, did you play sports? What kind of?
I played ice hockey.
Or did you just work all the
I
time?
worked a lot. I played ice hockey. St. Joe's didn't have a team, so we played in the club team.
Okay.
So I was always involved in. I liked ice hockey, and went to all the games. I was on the bench all the football games.
How did you kind of get, as a Trumbull kid? How did you get exposed to hockey? What do you think turned you on to?
My older brother went to Boston College.
Okay.
And hockey was big out there, and I used to go visit him. And Nick, I had the goalie pads on because I couldn't skate. You know what I'm saying?
Were you the goalie?
I was the fattest guy in the team, so it was
So
nice.
you put the fat kid in the goal.
Yeah, and I blocked most of the net.
Brilliant.
Nowadays, you're the best athlete in the net. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They got to be able to do splits.
Yes, yeah.
Right? The goalies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Believe it or not, I was pretty limber at 325, 300.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a good goalie?
Yeah. Well, I thought I was.
You played.
Yeah.
All right. So what was high school? Were you a good student?
I wasn't an average student. It was a different place and time. wasn't looking to go to a big college or go away. You know, it's just more like I wanted to be in the family business.
Yeah.
You know, because I saw, you know, what it took, and it was always togetherness and meetings and you know, fun stuff. You know
Fun
what I'm saying?
stuff.
And my family had a place. Speaking of Larry, his dad had a place called Conti's in Seaside, which
Okay,
was there
yeah.
for 100 years on the
Sure.
Seaside Park. And that was one of the family businesses. And, you know, we just had a great network of
Yeah.
businesses and work ethic. And it just worked out well, you know. So I kind of knew I wanted to get into the family business.
Okay.
And then, you know, going to St. Joe's, my thing is like people that made an impression on me, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, you know, through St. Joe's, I knew I was going to go Sacred Heart. And just great teachers. And it was a great community school, you know, private school, community school. And all the teachers there played a big part of, you know, my growth and my shaping my life.
Yeah.
You know, so it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
I had some great stories I can tell you, but
Give us one.
I'll give you one.
Give us one.
We had a lady at St. Joe's. She was a music teacher, Marge Hull. She was back then. She was 90 years old.
Okay.
Okay, greatest lady. She probably weighed about 80 pounds.
Okay.
And she used to come to school. On
Yeah.
the back of, I don't know if it was her sons or her nephew's Harley Davidson. She'd hop off the bike and she taught music.
Yeah.
And all she talked about was Jethro Tull. And I wasn't a big music guy, but music was always on, you know what I'm saying? You like Bruce Springsteen back then and all that stuff. And she would just talk about Jethro Tull, and how his real name was Ian Anderson. I don't know if she met him or she knew him or whatever. So fast forward the clock, I go to Sacred Heart. Just to give you an idea how this one person played a role on me. And I always even tell my kids growing up, you know, pay attention. Just pay attention. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. Just pay attention to what's going on. You never know when you might need that knowledge. You know? So I go to Sacred Heart. A friend of mine, I don't know if I can mention his name. It was Al Nossi. I used to pick him up for school. We used to go to school. We stop at the Mayor Canteen. I get my 3 hamburgers with cheese, bacon, egg on it, and
Everything you're not supposed to
yeah,
have.
and go to Sacred Heart, and we sit. Back then, you know, they had auditoriums of 300 people in them.
Yeah.
So we sit in the back, you know, and back then you had to take music because if you didn't take music, you couldn't get a degree back then. Music was one of the requirements.
Yep.
So I'm in this class, and teacher walks in the first time or second day, and, you know, ponytail, hippie, tie-dye stuff on, which fine, I'm not judging him. And I'm unwrapping my sandwiches every day, and I think I was annoying him because I think he had a microphone up there. And he said, hey, Fatso, you know.
The teacher said, "Hey, Fatso."
You know, can you imagine nowadays how many
Fired.
how many petting dogs you might need for the kids? I mean, there's not enough dogs in America to make everybody feel happy. And I looked at him like, well, Fatso, maybe he knows me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He says, you going to eat all day? You know, you going to pay attention? I said, you know, I'm a wise guy. I said, I'm going to do both. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't like that. He said, let me tell you what. He says,
I'm going to do both.
Stand up. He said, I'm going to tell you right now. And he said to me, if you can answer this one question, you come back in 3 months, you get an A. I don't have to put up with you. You don't have to put up with me. You want to take the chance? I said, I have no choice.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah. So I stand up. He says, I'm going to ask you one question. What's Jethro Tull's real name? I went, Ian Anderson. See you later.
And you got your.
Yeah. So that lady played a, you know,
Yeah.
pay attention. That old Marge Hull from St. Joe's played a big part of my life of getting out of music class. I probably would have failed it. You know,
probably would have failed it.
yeah. So
That's
I mean,
amazing.
Stories like that, I tell my kids, and they laugh about them, and they're true, unfortunately.
Yeah. The moral of the story: pay
Yeah,
attention.
pay
You never
attention.
know. Take
That's
in
it.
what you can take
Work
in.
hard and pay attention.
Yeah, while we're on your kids, let's talk about your wife and kids. Let's talk a little bit about them, and then
I've got a wife, married a long time, 30-something years. Got 3 great boys.
what are they up to?
One son's my oldest son. He they went to University of Fairfield Prep. Then he went to the gunnery school. Then he went to play hockey at Vermont. Another goaltender. And
He
then
was great, right?
They were all good.
Yeah.
They were all, and he moved on. He was in the Islander system for a while.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what I'm saying? And then
That would sound like
like
semi-pro.
AHL
pro.
stuff like
Okay.
that. And then my other son Alex was even better. I like to say, you know what I'm saying? Like this.
Yeah.
He learned from his brother.
Sure.
And he was in the Ottawa system for a few years. And
wow.
traveled around the country, and they played. They got a
played
taste, they got a taste of
competitive.
pro sports.
If you're playing past college, I mean,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, they got good educations at
Yeah.
University of Vermont. Both of them went to the same school,
Oh, that's cool.
which I don't know if it was good or bad, but that's what they did.
How far apart are they in age?
They're 2 years.
Okay.
2 years apart. And then I have I call him my baby, Ricky. He went to Fairfield Prep for 4 years and was a great student.
Great.
He went to Holy Cross, got his master's.
Great school.
He's a teacher at Trumbull High.
Awesome.
They call him Senor Rick. He teaches
Senor-
Spanish.
Awesome.
And now he's dibbling dabbling in the real estate.
Dabbling in real estate.
He's in,
Awesome.
yeah, he's a Caldwell banker in Milford. And
That's great.
Does it part time because he's still
Yeah.
teaching is his passion.
Teaching is his passion. That's
So,
great.
he
Well,
likes
listen, you can build a phenomenal real estate career with a full-time job. I know that because I was at Notre Dame in Fairfield. Technically still am. And built my entire sales with a 40-hour-a-week job. So if I can do it, I'm not that smart. He could do it, right? He's probably a lot smarter. He went to Holy Cross. He's a lot smarter than me.
He's a smart kid. He's actually too smart sometimes.
He's way smarter than me if he went to Holy Cross.
I tell you, speaking Spanish is I don't know if it's first or second language anymore, but it's important. And he gets a lot done. And my kids, they're starting to get what I went through and what I do, and they're starting to rub off on them as they have kids. I have my two boys.
So they're hustlers?
They're hustlers. They work hard. They get up early in the morning. They do like, their time. It's a different place and time. It's more quality of life than when I was growing up. It's just work.
Yeah.
You fit in fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now they have it scheduled, they have it scheduled, and they work hard. They're up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We started a company. They played at Vermont. It was called the Vermont Catamounts. So they started a company called Catamount Food Service.
That's your catering.
Yeah, well, it's not.
Oh no, that's your.
That's their food service. The schools and the institutions that they do, and it's their business.
They do that.
They do it on their own. I kind of try to guide them, but they don't always take the advice. And sometimes it's good they don't take my advice because I'm not, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not always hitting home runs.
Well, it's interesting. Some father-son relationships, right? They're going to listen to you,
or they don't,
right? Yeah. But I'm sure they appreciate your wisdom.
Yeah,
experience is something you can't teach, so they'd be stupid not to at least ask you and then make their decision.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they now they have wives. They have houses in Trumbull, and and
they all live in Trumbull now.
Two live in Trumbull. Rick lives in Milford. He lives on the ocean.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so on the water in Milford, he loves it, and they all get along great. They're close, and that's important. No major hiccups.
No major blow-ups yet?
No, they're all good. They're good kids, and they have great wives.
The wives all get along?
That's great. Along. Everybody's one big happy family. They say.
Now,
who knows?
now.
I don't know.
Yeah, for now. What about now? Is your wife involved at all in the business?
No, she works at St. Vincent's Hospital.
Oh, okay.
And,
what does she do there?
She's she was in HR in the beginning. Now she does some other stuff with the
office-related stuff,
walk-in patient thing.
Okay, cool.
She's not a nurse, but a medical degree.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she does that and keeps her busy. And
you wouldn't want to subject her to the restaurant business?
No. I don't know if I can work with my wife.
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to work with your kids. And
Family.
Like I said, I'm lucky to have my brother with me. I have a great partner also. Vinny Nose, he's a local guy. His family was in the steel business for a long time, and he's an attorney in town.
Okay.
And same thing, though. He's built from the same mold I was.
Yeah.
His family were workers.
Yeah. It's really hard to find people that work as hard as you or with the same vision as you, right? If you can align, then you can really grow.
And I'm lucky. I got my inner circle is people that work.
Yeah.
I have a manager that's been with me for 25 years that does everything. Because I don't do any of the hiring or anything like that. She does everything.
Yeah.
This girl's a godsend. You know what I'm saying? She's been with me 25 years. And
want to shout her out? Or?
Christine Dwyer. She's just the best.
Cool.
She works night and day. But like I said, she doesn't count hours. And
right. Just works.
She deals with people well.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
You're in the people business. The hardest. It's the hardest business to be in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting old, and I'm just seeing what it was and what it's coming to, and I don't want to say it's disheartening, but it is a little depressing to see.
Yeah.
So
what do you mean by that? In terms of the restaurant business, or
the whole
or the world?
Or the world in general.
World
I don't want to go with this. We don't have enough time.
Yeah.
But the whole thing of for example, today, I'm looking at me and my brother talking in the morning. We're like, we can't get tinfoil pans, we can't get scallops, and the problem is because it costs so much. To get them shipped to you because of gasoline prices.
Yeah.
If you want to call it Putin, if you want to call it Biden, you want to call it Trump. I don't even know. I'm not political.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is this: you
can't get what you need.
You can't get what you need, and you want our young kids that are going to school to be smart,
right?
To figure out why things happen, and then you see our leaders, and I'm not knocking. So we raised the diesel gas tax 10 cents this morning.
Yeah.
So it makes things a little more expensive. So that should,
Yeah.
I mean,
even harder.
You can't figure it out. Why do they do things? We're not built for small business anymore, or for
Yeah. It's hard to. It's hard as a business person to make it now.
It's like they just want to step on you.
So what's wrong with the world today?
We have soft people. When I was growing up, for example, my father would say, it's Friday. You got to go to the laundry tonight, and you got to stamp. We used to put our logo, an SL, on all our napkins.
Okay.
We did all the restaurants from Manhattan to Boston, not all of them, but a lot.
Yeah, a lot of them.
So you didn't lose them. You'd stamp your logo on them.
Yeah.
Now they come like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Back then we had a stamp.
Each one.
But meanwhile, my father was smart. We were next to a Duchess. We had 9 hot dogs and hamburgers, and we stamp all night long. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and my cousins. And nowadays, the kids wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't go to work. It was a Friday night. They're supposed to be out.
They're not going to sit there and eat and work.
And we didn't ask questions. And then even I'm guilty as charged too. My kids growing up, maybe I was soft on them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't say you have to, because you can't be.
Yeah.
And I've learned you can't be your kid's friend. You have to be,
Yeah.
Their mentor and their father, or, whatever.
Lead by example.
And you can't be their best friend because nothing good happens.
Nothing good happens.
Yeah,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was lucky. It was right in the middle. My kids are, I think, out of that age group where they were over the hump. They see what they have to do to succeed. There's nothing replaces hard work.
Yeah.
Now,
No, that's good. And you're right. I think that's what's wrong with the world. People don't work. They want it handed to them.
Last week, people are working the restaurant. It was so busy. We're very busy, thank God. But you can't make any money because things cost so much. But it's just like your money comes in and goes out the other door.
Yeah.
But,
Your margin's got to be.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But, and then the employees, you have bodies, but you don't have too many brains. I don't mean that these kids are probably smart in school, but they couldn't figure out how to light a sterno or something like that, which is, I get, what I'm saying? But then you get people right in the middle of the night, I feel uncomfortable. I got to go home.
Yeah.
And you can't say, don't go home, or you can't, then
you get sued.
Yeah. So it's just the young people are just different, and it doesn't make them bad, but I think it's social media. I mean,
social media, phones.
Yeah, they think it's more important to get likes on TikTok than it is to get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, it's crazy.
Where are we going with that? What I'm saying?
And they don't put the phone. I mean, I'm guilty too. Like you said,
yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have my phone with me. I had a flip phone till last year, but it was $50 more on my Verizon bill. So I said, you know what? Let me get a regular phone.
Get a regular
And
one.
I got the.
What you got, like a Nokia or like a Nextel?
Yeah, the Androids. My kids, I can't send pictures to you. I said, good. I don't want to know what you're eating, who you're with, who you're doing. I don't want to know nothing. Just please call me in the morning. Let me know your health.
Call me. Let me know you're good. The old school way.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm guilty of being too old school. That's the problem.
Okay.
It's depressing to see just it's everywhere in the car has has no home, coexist. Meanwhile, they'll drive you into the embankment. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of hypocrites out there.
A lot of it. Yeah, the world is scary. If you got kids, mine are little, but like it's scary to think that if it's just going to keep going on that trajectory, how bad is it going to be?
I came from Fairfield this morning to come here. Every billboard, love, hate, love conquers all. Meanwhile, you go home and now everybody's shooting each other.
Yeah,
just Buffalo and grocery stores. So you would think
crazy.
the people saying this message would say, hey, maybe it's not working. We have to try a different
thing.
A different vehicle to get people to not be nice to each other, but just coexist.
Well, we're so deep in it, and what could you do? Could you limit people's phone use? I mean, that's the problem. A lot of it is just
it's addicting.
Addiction to the
It's like an addiction, I think.
It is, right. I'm trying to stall on getting our oldest daughter. She wants an iPhone. She's in 6th grade. It's kind of like. And there's kids that have it in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So, but then you start to think.
As a parent, you got to be empowered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My kids didn't drive till they were 18. Because, one, I'm a stat guy, too. I mean, the more accidents happen with kids 16 and under that have to involve an insurance company.
Gotcha.
So why am I going to get my license?
That's a good point.
And
wait till you're 18.
Meanwhile, I was driving at 13.
Yeah.
It was a different ballgame.
Different ballgame.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at the numbers and you're wise, right?
I mean,
teach that.
And
wisdom.
It worked out pretty good. They got rides. They got picked up, and they were in boarding school anyway, so they couldn't bring a car.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that worked out really well.
Yeah, it worked out good.
So your St. Joe's days, how impactful was your St. Joe's Catholic experience on your life?
Even with my kids, I sent them all to Catholic school. It's not even so much for the religion, and I think as I'm getting older, you kind of go more towards your religion. I don't care if you're Catholic, you're Buddhist.
Agreed.
You need something bigger than us controlling us, because the shit that goes on is not normal.
Yeah.
So I tell my kids,
hourglass is
I tell my kids,
down.
You got to go meditate or something for 45 minutes. Listen to somebody, and explain. But it played a big part of me. I think the reason why I sent my kids there was more, love yourself first. Because when you love yourself, you'll open the door for somebody. You'll help your mother with the groceries. You'll help your wife with the groceries. You'll be more kind. And I think the Catholic education, or the private Catholic education, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you can say Catholic anymore.
Yeah.
But the Catholic education was freaking.
You can call it that.
The best thing. My kids, they have empathy for other people.
Totally.
And we do.
And it's a great environment.
It's a good environment.
Great environment.
Uniform.
Love it.
On the clothes. When I
God in the classroom. God in the classroom is good, regardless of religion.
When stuff started going sideways, I think it's when he took God out of the classroom, or whatever you believed in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now, anything goes.
We need him back in there.
Yeah, I think,
right.
Some form of him anyway.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
Yeah.
So St. Joe's, you graduate. Do you remember what year? I'm just throwing. We talking 74.
Oh, there was the horse and buggy with the buses. So
okay, so early 70s.
No,
maybe?
I graduated 80.
80. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 80, you graduate. And then you go to Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart as a commuter. Back then, it was a big commuter
school, right?
The biggest thing was the Mara Canteen. I mean, people chose their.
That was the place to go.
Was the place to go.
Good old Jay.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to Sacred Heart too. I don't know if you know that.
yeah.
I did my undergrad and my master's at Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
What a difference! My undergrad I went in '98. I enrolled. Right, so the difference between '98 and it's probably right from 80
to now.
I mean, now what do you see now?
It's the second biggest Catholic university, second to Boston College on the East Coast.
Right.
I mean, according to what they say. So,
right.
And they're in the community. They're great.
And they're everywhere.
They're everywhere, and they give back to the community. And that's what you want to do.
We're going to focus on your community giving too, because it's unparalleled with probably anybody that I've had the opportunity to meet. And just kind of discuss what they've done in terms of giving.
Oh, thank you.
And so it's impressive. So we're going to go through that. But at Sacred Heart, so you enroll 80, whenever.
Yeah.
Pick a major, or what do you do?
I was, business.
Business.
Business. It was always business. But it was, I remember one of the classes I went to, back then, was how to write a checkout.
We need more of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was writing checks out at 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I got an A in that class.
These kids now can't write a check.
No, I mean, even
for sure.
Even like the people, like, it's funny, they never miss, people that work for them never miss their paycheck day, which is usually Friday or Saturday or Sunday, whatever they work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find the checks on the floor because they took a picture of them and sent them to the bank.
Yeah.
I'm like, have we found your check? Oh, no, don't worry about it. I don't need it.
Just throw it out.
Well, maybe you should rip it or shred it. You know what I'm saying?
Take it with you in case there's a problem.
Like I said,
it's a new world.
And again, it doesn't make a bad world, but Jesus.
I went to direct deposits here. And you know what? When my brokerage is only a couple years old, I had a team, and the team at the brokerage office that I was at was still issuing checks. Yeah. And what was cool about it, which sounds crazy, there's nothing really relevant about. Now it's about for agent speed to everything, how quick you get paid. They want it automatic. But when they were coming in to get their checks, at least they would come in. Yeah. And you could see them because they would come in.
Yeah.
Now,
nope,
it goes right in their bank. So
and you never see them.
Yeah. So the real estate industry is obviously changing a lot and trying to keep up with it, which is always a challenge. But it's like anything; it's just the learning.
Seems like you're doing a good job.
Thank you. It's going okay. So so back to Sacred Heart. So did you do any sports at Sacred Heart or clubs or activities or
no? Just again, it was like more of a a place to go in the morning, then I go to work at night.
And then you go to work.
We're
just trying to get through
we had the restaurant business, so I would go to Newtown. We had the restaurant called the Hawley Manor at the Flagpole.
Okay.
So, I was managing that at Sacred Heart, you know what I'm saying, and dealing with, back then Fairfield Hills was across the street.
Okay.
So, again, with the things, I can tell you stories.
I'm sure.
The horn went off, people would leave, and we had the only payphone in the lobby of the restaurant, like in the walk.
Okay. So they'd come to you.
They break out or whatever they call it.
Yeah. What do you call that when they
get off their meds? I don't know.
Yeah, and they come to you.
They would go to the closest payphone to call a cab.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night, you got 3 people, looking to get back to Danbury. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And I locked the screen door. They put their head through it sometimes just to come in and use the bathroom.
That is crazy.
It was. Again, those stories, they molded your life. You had to be a problem solver. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I gave people rides. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen,
you didn't even know.
I got to leave.
Or you knew.
Your cab ain't coming for 3 hours. I'll take you where you want to go. And I got 2 cycles in the back of my my father's Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? Taking them to Danbury or taking them to the train station.
That's crazy.
It was every day.
Wow.
I can tell you stories. That's why people say to me, you got the best stories. I do have good stories because they're true.
They're true.
You know what I'm saying? You can't make them up.
You deal with people. Same with me. I'm a broker, but really, I think I got to add / therapist /
oh my God, yeah.
Just battering. Just come in and just tell me everything. And
I can be home, and the phone rings. Hey, John, I got a flat. I'm in New Canaan. I'm like, you got AAA? I don't tell you. What do I got to come and change it? Do I look like
could I send my AAA?
Yeah, really. And I've done that. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Yeah, but it just so maybe people feel comfortable.
Yeah,
asking me, so I don't mind
because of who you are, and they know you'll help anybody. So you're not going to leave them hanging, obviously.
No.
So that's awesome. That's admirable. So at Sacred Heart now, you're graduating. You've graduated. What do you do first?
I bought a house.
Okay.
First thing you do, you save money, you buy a house. I bought a house
in Trumbull.
I bought a house in Trumbull, same one I live in.
Okay.
I bought it for $80,000.
Okay.
Back in whatever 82 or 83.
Okay.
I was in Sacred Heart. And then, fast forward a couple of years, my pool house cost me $200,000. So go figure. And I've been there ever since. And I try to tell my kids, live at your means. You know what I'm saying? You have a nice life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean,
So many kids overextend and
Oh,
they get
my
that
God,
mortgage
yeah.
house. But think about it, 80,000 people right now. If you're following the news, everyone's crying about the rates.
Yeah.
The rates went up, but the rates are obviously
all-
impact your spending
they're all
power.
relevant to what you're
They're,
doing.
they're all relevant, but the bigger problem is the inflation, the cost. Now you're buying a house for 80, your son's buying one for 800,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I mean, I had no mortgage for the last 20 years.
exactly,
Not because I'm rich, just
Yeah.
because I
you
paid
bought
it
low,
off. Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying?
But didn't
Yeah,
you bought low?
and that gives you a lot. So you can go out to eat more. You can,
Yeah.
you can pay for your kids' private school.
Exactly.
and you have a nice life, and it's less on your head. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah.
So I always tell it's not what you make, it's what you keep,
It's-
right?
it's-
So
it's-
overhead
it's
low.
Quality of life, overhead
Yeah.
low.
So
know?
so when you graduated from Sacred Heart,
I had a house, and I lived home.
you
So
had a house and
yeah,
you lived home.
I went there on the weekends.
And
It was
you went there on the weekends.
and it was right across the street from where I lived.
It's perfect.
You can't make it up. You know what I'm
can't.
saying?
So
Yeah.
that's great. So you're fortunate for that. What was your first business venture?
My first business venture was
Like on your own,
well,
like
no, it was my
or
father.
you could have a partner,
well,
but not the linen place.
Well, the linen place. My father got sick,
Okay.
so he died a long time ago, 30 years ago. So my dad got sick, and he said, listen, you got to go work with Uncle Rudy and make it work. So me and my cousin got together, and I was a salesman for 6 years, going to Newtown.
For the linen place.
Yeah, and so that's what was my first venture, and then I started buying some houses and some rental properties, and
Okay.
because I.
So
back
you're an
then-
investor.
Yeah.
You
well,
currently still invest?
Yeah, we have some real estate for my kids, and we collect some rents, and
Okay.
but we like to, it's as I'm getting older, it's more quality of life. I'm not looking to
Yeah.
go out and set the world on fire anymore because it's for what? I mean, how many more years do we have left?
Right. Yeah. That hourglass. It just
Yeah.
kind of ticks.
Yeah.
So tell me about your first restaurant. Like what? I mean, you're known as a restaurant guy, not a linen guy, right?
So back in '93, beginning of '93, my best friend and partner, now Vinny knows, so our families were close, our fathers were tight, and I was in Newtown. And
Okay.
it was a long ride. I wasn't going to move to Newtown. It was driving to Newtown 25 every night. I had the Hawley Manor in, and my brother wanted to do it. I said, well, you know what, Chris, you do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for something else. I want to open a little Italian restaurant and make grandma's meatballs. You know what I'm saying? and I want to be some time to myself.
But wait, so this place in Newtown was already yours?
No, my family had it. The Hawley Manor.
The Hawley Manor in Newtown was your
It was my father's and me and my brother.
and your uncle's
No, father, me, and my brother.
father, you and your brother. Okay, so the three of you have that restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So things got kind of we just didn't. Who was working? He was coaching football. So you do it. You know what? I walk away from it. Came down to that last night I was working there. This guy, Larry Hoffman. They're big. They own every shopping center from Stanford to Boston. He was jogging. He jogged from New Canaan to Newtown. I mean, like a marathon runner.
Wow.
He says to me, "Listen, I had never seen a guy. You're here every Sunday night. You're always eating your cheesecake at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That was,
Yeah.
like I said, back then, I'm back to 300 pounds. I'm eating cheesecake at 10 o'clock at night.
So you're 300 pounds. Let's add that to the story. You're 300
He
pounds
says,
at the time.
he says, I got a place. You'd be perfect for you.
Okay.
I said, what? I said, I'm looking because I'm looking to get out of here, looking for something else to do. He says, did you ever hear of Pizza Village? And I said, Pizza Village? I think my coat's on the hook there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right around the corner from where I lived in Nichols, part
Okay.
of Trumbull. He said, well, tomorrow morning come, I'll give you the key. I said, holy shit.
Yeah. Why?
I met him that morning. He says, but you got to come up with $50,000. And I kind of had it, but I didn't have it. I don't want to empty my bank account back then.
Yeah.
End of
That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah. So I call my best friend Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
He's an attorney. He just got his law practice. He's in Bridgeport. And I said, listen, Vin, give me $25,000. Let's buy this restaurant. He said, okay. He goes, take my card and go take $20,000 out of the ATM. I'm like, so I did that. I was there for like an hour and a half.
So he's got some money.
Yeah, so we put it
got
on
some
the
money
thing.
at the
I
time.
think it was his mother's money at the time or whatever it was, but
Yeah.
the family was close. We bought the restaurant, and I'll tell you something. We got our money back in hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah, quick.
it was a neat thing back then. We were the only game in town back then.
Pizza place?
We started Vazzi's, the original Vazzi's on Broadbridge.
Ah, the one in Bridgeport.
That was the old Pizza Village.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did that.
That's
and
the original.
That's the original. Then we opened up Stratford, Monroe, but then that's how it all started. So that was our first thing, and we've been together ever since. And since we have the banquet hall, and we have the windmill in Stratford, and a few other things that we do. But that was the original one. I went on my own, and I didn't even have time to think of failure. You know what I'm saying? It was just hard work, and I was walking distance from my home, and I was never home.
Right.
When I was home more when I was driving to Newtown. I'm like, how'd this work out? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So the Bridgeport, the Broadbridge location
first
is
location.
the original Vazzi's, but also your original kind of like not with your dad,
Yeah, yeah.
not with your brother. You partner with Vinny,
Vinny knows, yes.
and so you opened. You made money obviously quickly,
Yeah.
and you've been there forever.
Still there. I just, I was there this morning.
And that place, you rent that place? Do you own that building?
No, that's pretty much the only place that we don't own.
Okay.
No property.
Right, property wise, yeah. So that's part of your business. Talk about your business strategy. You like owning where you.
Well, now we do.
Now you do.
Now as we got older, and that's what we invest in. Why pay rent if you can rent own? That's another one of your competitors' slogans.
That's
why,
correct.
Why rent when you can own?
I know it.
But you know what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we did, and like I said, it was a marathon, not a road race, and it turned out well.
Yeah.
Now we have Monroe, we have other places, and we've closed a few down the road. The pandemic was kind of tough.
Yeah.
There was another place.
How did the pandemic affect your overall umbrella?
It was devastating. It was a slowdown, and thank God that we were conservative for the last, 28 years.
A lot of guys probably couldn't weather that storm.
No, they would have sold out or went bankrupt. I paid people. We got
Yeah.
some government help, like everybody did, the
Yeah.
PPP.
Crazy not to.
And then we stayed open. We weathered the storm, and getting back to my brother and Larry and Vinny and my great manager. We and my kids. We hunkered down. You know what I'm saying? We hunkered down. We worked night and day. We a lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of shouting.
Yep.
But and not that now we're back, but we're still back on top. We're busy. We're busy. But now you can't make money because everything costs so much.
It's crazy.
And
the restaurant business. I actually, my hat's off because I had a steakhouse in Milford. It was the old Conti's. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
I had it for a year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I wanted out like after 2 weeks. I actually ended up being involved in the restaurant with a partner, and then
I remember that. Yes.
sold it after a year.
Yep.
Tony Villano.
Yep.
I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
And then
Then it became Conti's again.
then it became Conti's. Then it became something else.
Then Conti's.
And now it's Conti. And then something. Now it's something else.
Yeah. It'll be Conti's again.
It'll be Conti's again. He'll, Claudio just keep kind of going back and forth there. But I ended up selling it, the business, with my broker hat on. So I made money, but I can just, for me, it like wasn't worth even thinking about it.
It's got to be in your blood.
Yeah.
So it's got to be in your blood. A lot of these guys now that are in the business.
And you got to be all in, right?
Yeah. Well,
you get robbed.
Yeah. All these guys or more corporate, and that's maybe another good way of attacking it.
Yeah.
We were more old school. Call grandma to come in and make the meatballs. The old lady to make the eggplant.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why everybody loves
Yeah.
it.
Well, it served a purpose back then. It's just getting, there's nobody around that would do that anymore.
It's just getting hard to.
Getting harder, and it's hard to find loyal people. It's hard to find people who work because you make more money staying home.
Yeah.
Basically,
you
nowadays.
could.
Yeah.
So the Vazzi's empire is Bridgeport. Then where did you go? Did you go to Monroe?
Stratford, Monroe.
Stratford.
Monroe. Back in Bridgeport, the golf course was still there.
Okay.
Yep. And then we had Lighthouse Pizza, the Windmill, and a few other things. And then we had Shelton, which we sold. It's a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
And we opened up in the Brick Walk in Fairfield. We bought the old Spazi's.
Okay.
So we were there for a while, and it was good. But then one day,
what's the rent in the Brick Walk?
It wasn't even the rent.
$50
Oh, it was more than that.
a foot.
It was we were busy.
How does anyone make money in the Brick Walk?
Yeah, we were busy. It's the old Sinclair now. It's a great location. And I'm there one morning. I'm getting the drawers ready, and this lady walks in. This Spanish lady looked like she was in a beauty pageant, and she walked in. She goes, "I want to buy this place." I said, "Oh, okay. I'll be out in a minute." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to buy this place. Now, another great story. My father serviced the Tutoras. They have a nursing home in Bridgeport, not Bridgeport, in Fairfield. When you get off the highway, it's called Carlton Convalescent Home.
Okay.
My father would say, I was growing up in the business, he was my father's first customer. Like the family, for 100 years, we serviced their sheets and bed linen.
Okay.
And every Sunday, my mother was gonna make macaroni, and my father was sitting down, we're gonna watch football games. He get a call from Mr. Tutora. My father's nickname was Fuzzy. Fuzz, we have my mangle, which folds the sheets, is not working.
Okay.
My father said, "Go fix it," to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go fix it. I'm gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? I drive to Fairfield, crawl under the thing at 325 pounds under the machine, and pull a sheet out. It worked. The guy loved me. And that was called on-premise laundry. They did their own.
Okay.
Then they were the first ones to go to off-premise, so we serviced the sheets for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to his own and he quit. Fast forward the clock. He owned that shopping center in Fairfield where Spazi's was. He calls me up. He says, "I want you to take this restaurant over." So I called Vinny.
Yep.
This is before the lady came in, from the Mexican lady came in to offer to buy it. "I want you to buy the restaurant. Here's the key. Free. That's a great location."
Yeah.
We go down there. We open up. We're busy. And he gave me the key because he says, "I never forgot what you did every Sunday you came down. Now I'm in there when he gives him the key. I hear Michael Bolton singing Georgia to the 90-year-old people in the lobby.
In the lobby?
Because he wanted the restaurant.
Okay.
Him and his
He
cohorts.
wanted it for
Back
his...
then, his group of restaurant
Yeah, yeah.
people, and they offered him like hundreds of thousands. He gave it to me for free.
Wow.
So that's a life lesson.
Yeah.
So we even went there.
It's all relationships, everything.
He appreciated that. He was old school. Nowadays that wouldn't happen. It's a dollar, almighty dollar.
It's like real deals are made on the front end, right?
That's what I'm
Sometimes
saying.
you got in there.
We're in there. We're busy. We paid nothing for it.
Yeah.
This lady. So fast forward to the lady that comes in. This lady from Mexico. Her and her father have Villa del Sols all over New York, and they wrote us a check out for a crazy amount of money.
Wow.
And I ran out there so fast. We went back to.
How long were you even
We
operating?
were there for 2 years.
Okay.
But it was every once in a while you got to cash out too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
totally.
Yeah.
Well,
So
if you don't, you miss.
So that
What's
was-
the life expectancy of a restaurant?
they
Average?
say everybody closed down within 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing this 35 years.
So I've done a lot of, before I got into actual selling property, I did a lot of nightclub sales
Yeah.
and restaurant sales. I worked with the biggest probably Mexican chain in Greenwich. It was called Fonda La Paloma.
Yeah.
I brought them to Milford in the Spinnaker. You know where that area right across from Stonebridge?
Yeah.
I felt so bad because they crushed it in Greenwich, but then when they came here, there was no.
It's all demographics,
It totally-
Disposable income, a little
Yeah.
better, and probably in Greenwich and Milford. But
Yeah, but I just felt bad because I almost know when I was doing a restaurant that it would like.
you got
Like, I had to make sure I get my broker check up front. You know what I
flip
mean?
of the coin, yeah.
Right, because it's not. It's
Yeah.
and part of it is just the expectations not right from the beginning, or that they don't know what they're doing, or is it just that damn expensive to make and hard to make money in the restaurant
It's tough
business?
to make money in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
You know,
How
if
many
you-
do you have to make money? I mean, that was I was told.
tell
If
you
you want to own a
something,
restaurant, you need 10.
Well, as I'm getting older and I'm seeing, I think small is better. You can make more money.
Okay.
Being bigger, is bigger problems and more expenses.
Right.
So I mean, I probably made more money when I had less restaurants. But
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. I mean, I
But you
would say-
still need more than. Do you think you
You
need more
need-
than
I think
one?
you need more than one buying power and and clout getting
So is that number 3? Is it?
yeah I
five,
would say-
maybe?
I would
Maybe
say- I
not
would say
10?
2 to 4.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my opinion. But like I said,
What about branding? It's interesting. We talked about the Vazis. You have the Windmill.
yeah,
That you took over. A little neighborhood bar, right, in Stratford.
the oldest bar in the country, longest holding liquor permit.
Really?
Yeah, 1931. Never had.
Wow. Do you
never-
guys market that?
We do. I mean,
that's
Wi-
you don't
Windmill's
need to,
busy.
right?
The Windmill's like the Mirror Canteen.
Yeah.
Behind the bar, there's a flat. We make hot dogs, hamburgers, and
Yeah.
people love it. You know what I'm saying? You get the
Well,
same crowd.
that's great when you get that kind of.
Yeah, I mean, and back then, when I used to go there with my dad, what they did is there was Avco, there was Sikorsky. They used to make more money cashing people's checks.
Right.
So everybody that worked wanted to go have a drink before they went home.
Yeah.
Took their check. The owner, the bartender, would cash the check and charge 50 cents to cash a check.
Oh wow.
So I mean, think about how people were just
Yeah.
the thinking of how to make a dollar back.
And you own that building?
We own the building and the place across the street, the property. Yeah, so it's nice. Yeah.
That's. I mean,
Yeah,
what
I'm not-
you've done's amazing.
Yeah, we're not doing anything without owning the dirt nowadays because I'm not.
Yeah. You got it. Yeah. You don't want to
My
pay.
days are numbered. I don't want to pay the juice.
So the other interesting in 2011, you bought Lidl's.
Lidl's catering. Yeah.
You change it to Vazano's Four Seasons. So what do you do there?
Well,
You do
We serve a great purpose there. We do a lot of weddings.
okay.
We do all the schools, Bunnell, Stratford, Fairfield Prep. So it kind of runs into my other business, my son's business, where they're in the schools and all of a sudden they want to have a bowling banquet, they want to have the hockey banquet. They come there,
And they do it there.
and then I'm a firm believer of loyalty and keeping the price cost, so they can afford it to come every year.
Yeah.
So rather, I'm not looking for that one and done.
yeah.
I want to
Repeat.
build a relationship. I want them to come in. So we do
Is
a
that
lot.
challenging though, knowing that sometimes people just want to switch it up? Like, do you
They
get
do.
mad if they? switch it
No, I
up?
mean,
Yeah.
you always do. You want, you get mad. Well, why don't you use us? But
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
It's
You gotta
there's
understand.
There's other options,
Yeah.
but they always come back because
There's not many though.
not
options.
now. There's some places
Right.
closing down. There's there's no more Holiday Inn in Bridgeport anymore. So
Yeah.
there's a lot. But for what we do, we again we use great pasta, Barilla pasta. We make our own sauce. We make our own meatballs.
Yeah.
So people come.
Yeah. They come.
And then and they come, and so we're busy. We're booked up. But again, how much can you raise your prices?
Yeah.
So you can't. Now you're in
Yeah.
a touchy
Well,
situation.
now people are. If you use the middle class as an example, just with look at the price of oil. If it was costing $800, which was crazy to fill your oil tank, these people are on a fixed income, and now it's $3,000.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah, and let's
The
raise
check- the check,
and
you're
let's
done.
raise the tax on it. That's
Yeah.
what our politicians do to help us out.
So what do you have to do? Do you have to buy smarter? Do you
Well,
have to
can,
like
you can
just,
change your menus. You give them a little less, not less quantity, but less of a choice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
'Cause you can't house as
instead
much.
of giving them 7 appetizers, you give them 3. You know,
Okay.
so all good. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And then, you just kind of make it easier for your labor. So
Yeah.
you gotta,
Well, I love when you go out now and you're like, I'd like to have the octopus. And I'm like, we don't have any of that.
Yeah.
I'd like to have the wings. Oh, don't, we don't have today. Or actually, they'll start with, we don't have today.
yeah.
Up
Well, 'cause
front.
you can't get them.
Because you can't get it.
And that's because your local distributors
Yeah.
aren't delivering every day like they used to. They're delivering 2 days a week because,
Gas.
yeah, it's common sense. It's
So
fine.
if you have a busy day, they'll eat all your wings. Then you
No.
don't have wings till next Thursday.
or you go pick them up at the warehouse, or you go to Restaurant Depot, or you do something. You know what I'm saying? It's
It's insane.
it makes your life harder. It used to be easy. It's
It's
hard.
insane. So you have those places. Now you also have a Lordship Pizza.
Well, actually,
You have that?
we just sold that.
Okay,
We
so
just
that's
sold, We
gone.
just sold that last month.
Okay.
We're trying to consolidate and make it more where we can manage it because it's
Beach House Grill
Beach House Grill. We sold that.
sold that.
Yeah.
Was that
That was a town-owned thing that we managed for the town.
Oh, okay.
So it was not. We were there for 4 years, 5
Okay.
years. It was good. You know, what
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying?
sounds like you know when you gotta.
You know when
out.
you listen. It's not a hit and run, but it's just
Yeah.
you know when you got to get out because you can't get people to work and
Yeah.
So we you got to kind of pick and choose. Where before you just bring it to me, bring it to me, bring it
Yeah.
to me. We'll make it work. Now it's not easy to make work anymore.
Yeah, it's hard.
Mm.
So we talked about Catamount Food Service, which I love. Those are your kids are
Those
taking that.
my kids do that. They've done that. They've started that, and that's if I was young, that's what I would do. There's less nights, less weekends. It's a lot of schools. You build
Yeah,
relationships.
they have off a lot,
Yeah,
so you get
yeah,
some days,
well, yeah,
right? The
it's
schools
early morning stuff, but
Yeah.
we do other stuff. We do like Homes of the Brave and different places where we
Yeah.
every day. So it's not easy,
right.
but it's just more manageable. You know what I'm saying?
So what schools are you in? You're in quite a few, I know.
A lot of them. I don't want to name them. Then
Okay.
my competition will go take them from me.
Gotcha. So you're in a bunch
We
of
do a lot of the private schools.
a lot of the private
we do
schools.
Majority.
You do public schools too.
We do no public school. We're a backup vendor for Sodexo. So we make pizzas for like the Stratford school system and some
Okay.
Aces in Hamden, certain places like that. So we make a lot of pizza. So a lot of pizza parlors, we make pizza. I mean, I make 1,000 pizzas before 11 o'clock every day. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
For my schools.
Yeah.
It's spotty, but we have those days.
Yeah. Wow,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I always was, again, from being business with
Yeah.
with the old timers. You got to make your payroll, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, you know what I'm saying? So you got
Yeah.
a lot of restaurateurs, when they close Monday, close Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm looking to,
Yeah.
back then. Now maybe they're right. Maybe, that's why I'm gray. Who knows? You know what I'm
No,
saying?
well, listen, I told you I was in and out in a year, and I don't think you could pay me to open a restaurant. I mean, I know you couldn't pay me to operate a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I know to be in the business as long as you have is
Yeah,
unheard of. I mean, the life expectancy. Some of them I wouldn't even. I think it's only more than a year because they have a lease.
My life expectancy?
No. The restaurant life
yeah,
expectancy.
yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, you can't make
Well,
money.
things change. Now, if you go everywhere now, growing up, again, we used to drive a laundry truck for my dad. Silvermine Tavern, Three Bears, Cobb's Mill Inn. These were great places to go. They're gone.
Yeah.
Now they're all tapas.
Yeah.
Because, people just want
Yeah.
to eat 9 million different things. They don't,
Right.
Used to
Yeah.
go to certain places for prime rib, certain places
Right.
for salmon.
Yeah.
Now it's different. You know what I'm saying?
So you've tapped into the mobile business also, right? The mobile truck
we
or
have
the
food
mobile
trucks.
food.
We have food
How many
trucks.
do you have, and what do you
Well,
kind
in
of
Monroe,
like
we
to
have
do
a couple. It's called PizzaPieWagon.com. We have that. We have the Vazzi's Canteen truck. So we have pizza trucks, and then we have a taco truck that we do.
That's a lot of work
It's a
too.
lot of wood, but you know what? Vinny kind of takes that part about
Okay.
it, and he controls it with his management.
Yeah.
And even though it's me and him, we have good management.
Yeah.
Up there, we have good people, and I think the pandemic that kind of kept us busy because people want to eat in their driveway. You know what I'm saying?
I had Jay Carlucci on here from the Dewdrop,
Yeah.
and his show was awesome.
Great guy.
Awesome guy. I mean, it's actually to this day.
Another hardworking guy.
So his story is awesome. If you haven't watched that episode, you should. He's actually got the most views so far. You're going to give him a run for his money.
I don't know about
He's got
that.
1,200 views.
I think I have in the bag.
But I actually asked him. I said, "How come there's no Dewdrop truck?" And he said, with his business model,
Why bother?
why bother? Like, who want? You're out. Then it's a Saturday, and you're getting a call. Hey, they don't have enough garbage bags in the truck. They forgot to. Could you come bring me garbage bags? Or we ran out of wings, or there's no sauce. Like he just says, like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
And he's capitalizing.
Yeah.
I mean,
there comes a time when you gotta weigh it out. And
Yeah.
that's why we sold a few places and got rid of a few places because you have to.
yeah,
It's a different world. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's a different world and
Totally.
yeah, and a lot more competition too.
yeah. So would you, if you had to grow any one of these, whether it's the restaurants, the food trucks, or the schools?
It's the food service. When you say schools, it's food service. We do
Food
other
service.
things. We do wine.
Catering.
We do wine. Not catering.
Okay.
Catering is a restaurant when you bring tray chicken parmesan
Okay.
to your house. These things here are 10,000 box lunches for the YMCA. And,
Yep.
warm when it's cold out and that kind of stuff. So we do a lot of that stuff. We have the trucks and we have the manpower to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I just think that's for my age. But kids are younger. They want to be in the restaurant business. They want to be in the bar business. I don't want to. You know,
you don't
I'm
wanna do
looking to
that.
acquiesce out of that.
I
It's just-
gotcha.
I want to.
So if you're a school looking to add you to to take over their lunches, why should they hire Catamount?
Because we are hands-on, family-oriented. We buy the best products. You know, we use real chicken. We use real food. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot back then, when you used to, you know, you see those schools, it was like, you know, you peel off the top and there's
Yeah.
Salisbury steak, and
Ugh.
you don't know what you're eating. You can
Yeah.
get compressed newspaper. You don't know.
That's
what you're
basically what it was.
But it was all.
I remember
you know,
that.
But so now,
Salisbury steak. That was going to be my.
yeah.
I was
So
going
we
to throw that in.
Yeah. So we, you know, we give good food, good, and you deal with a family member. You know,
Right.
I have my daughter-in-law. She's on the, you know, she does all the bookkeeping and sales and out there, you know, making menus and dealing with the people, and we give back to the schools.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing.
Well, that's your-
That's my motto for my kids. Listen, you got to give back, because if you don't help people out, they won't remember you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
You know,
business will always come if you
Yeah.
give back. You'll get it
and
back.
we give back a lot. We sponsor students. We pay some tuitions. We do a lot of different. And I'm not bragging about, but that's what you have to do.
So I want you to brag about that, because it's actually amazing segue to my next list here, which is charity work that you do.
Yeah.
We had a brief conversation downstairs. Tell everybody give us an example of some of the things you do. I know that you're very active in
Well,
sponsoring students who
yeah.
maybe need help with tuition. What are some of the things that you do?
Well,
And I'm going to run down what I know you do.
We have a foundation. I started a foundation with Bill Sheetinger from AMR and Nick Ortiz from the Bridgeport Police Department 25 years ago. I got involved with AMR, and the quick story, you know, the lady that ran AMR for Bill called me up and said, you know, you just opened the restaurant. She goes, you want to get involved in the community? I said, yeah. What do you want me to do? She goes, well, it was Christmas Eve morning. And you know, Italians back then, you know, 90 people at the house. The eels are in the sink.
Exactly.
And everything. She says, you got to bring 3 hams to the hospital for cancer patients. I said, well, I got people coming to my house. She said, you gonna do it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So I took my youngest kid, went to the hospital. I got back 9:30 while Santa Claus was running around my house, giving shit out to the people at my house.
It's awesome.
And I tell you something, it changed me because people appreciated it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then my kids got it. He's like, wow, Dad, you know, not everything's rosy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I got involved with her. She passed away. So Bill Sheetinger took over. He's
Okay.
a local guy from Trumbull, but he runs Northeast AMR. Make a long story short, we started a foundation,
Okay.
the Maryland Goldstone Foundation.
Okay.
So, you know, we raise a ton of money. We do boot drives. We're grassroots. And so somebody calls us. There's 3 people. We decide where the money goes. And, you know, my husband needs a battery for his wheelchair. You know, it's $3,000. We don't have it.
Yeah. There you go.
You got it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or we can't pay our, my wife's got cancer. We can't pay our oil bill because I'm watching the kids.
It's awesome.
You got it. That's the kind of things I like to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not giving. I'm not knocking United Way or these big
You
foundations.
just give money for the
Giving them
tax
money,
write-off.
you see it, and
They want the tax write-off.
You see them smiling. You see when they heal and get better, they come back to you and they
Yeah.
talk and they appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know.
Real people in need.
Yeah. I mean, I was getting gas yesterday in Trumbull, and I had my truck, and the guy said, "You have anything to do with Little League?" I said, "Well, my kids do all the snack bars. That's part of their business."
Yeah.
He said, "Let me tell you something. You have a kid in there." He said, "A black kid." I said, "Yeah, he's from the Congo. He's my person."
Yeah.
I sponsored him. He said, "He's the nicest person I've ever met."
Yeah.
You did Major League Day. He goes, "I don't know what you. I mean, that was so nice.
That's awesome.
It's not nice. That's
So this is a student that you sponsor
we
tuition?
sponsor everything.
Help with
Whatever he
with
needs,
housing needs?
whatever he needs, I will help him. My kids and my kids are starting to see it. So
Yeah.
that's how you transition. We need more young people to
Yeah.
feel that way. You know, you don't
Yeah.
have to give the house away,
Right.
and you can't expect everything from the government.
Right.
So you got to be, you know, like you say, coexist. Hate has no home.
Yeah.
Live like you put your sticker on your car.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't put the stickers on my car because there's
Yeah.
some bad days where I don't want to do anything for anybody.
I hear you.
But at least you got to be consistent. You know, what I'm
Totally.
saying?
Yeah, so I found a blurb just kind of, and correct anything or say that's not true. I just found it. But, you know, Johnny engages in various local charitable foundations, motivated by the love of his family, friends, and community. You're involved with Swim Across the Sound, the 911 Ride, the Cardinal Sheehan Center, the Maryland Goldstone Foundation, just to name a few. That's the one that's your actual foundation. You're on the board of directors for the McGivney Center, which I know at your golf tournament when you...
I still do my golf tournament for that. Yeah.
We sponsor... I mean, I did that. We sponsor the student. And Homes for the Brave, which are both in Bridgeport. For the last 24 years, Johnny has hosted a food and toy drive during the holiday season with the assistance from the Bridgeport Police Department, Bridgeport Fire Department, Bridgeport EMS. You've raised approximately $1 million for families in need. And then as an entrepreneur and humanitarian, Johnny organizes and manages charitable events with the purpose of helping to improve the happiness and welfare of local residents. Is that?
I mean,
did I miss anything?
Well, no, not really. But my my point is, like, it's not because I want to, you know, people that say that. It's
Right.
it does make you feel better.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going to church. You know,
Yeah,
it's like it is.
You feel good.
You feel good, and you feel
Yeah.
good, and I want my kids to do it, and unfortunately, it's dying out. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a lot of people don't want to volunteer and this. And
Yeah,
that,
they
you know.
don't.
And I was, the ringmaster for the Barnum Festival. I was a 7th ringmaster.
Yeah. So what's that? I mean, I know
It's a
little
great
bit about it,
organization. It gives a lot back to the community. It's
Yep.
it's kind of the pandemic has kind of changed it because it was a big thing where you went to nursing homes, you went to schools, you had a royal family.
Yeah.
And that's kind of frowned upon nowadays with
Yeah.
COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Is that 2018 or
I was 19, the wingmaster.
19?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I raised a lot of money for the community. And
Yeah.
again, because I think of myself as a loyal person.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had to raise money, I hit Pepsi, I hit the garbage man, I hit the meat man that,
Yeah.
that I've been doing business with 35 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not that kind of guy that goes for the cheapest price every week.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I'm saying?
Right.
I could have,
Yeah.
but
I teach that. Don't go for the cheapest.
no,
People
I'm
that
saying
do
like,
that.
then
Yeah.
there's a company called
You're right.
City Line Distributors out there. I've been doing
Yeah.
business with them for 50 years, my
Yeah.
family. And the guy would do anything for me. They're great people. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because they give back because that's how they live.
Yeah.
And they're successful at what they do. So when you have a little success, I think you want to have a little give back. You know
You
what I'm saying?
gotta.
I think that's the thing.
You got to.
And that's not a guilt thing or anything like that. It's just,
Yeah.
you know what? And that's the problem. People mistake that as guilt. It's
Yeah.
not guilt. I'm happy that I've succeeded in my life. And I want my kids to succeed. I want their friends to succeed. I want
Yeah.
you to succeed.
I mean, you've clearly placed an
Yeah.
emphasis on giving
Yeah.
back, right?
Yeah.
So it's obviously on paper, Bridgeport. I mean, could you take down Gannon right now? Are you going to run for mayor?
I would, no comment.
I mean, you going to run for mayor?
I
one
would
day?
never run for anything. I'm not into politics.
Not yet.
Joe
Smart.
Joe happens to be a nice man.
Yeah, yeah.
We grew up together, and I wish him luck. It's a tough job.
Tough
You know what I'm
job.
saying? I'm not looking for any more tough
job.
jobs. I'm looking for easy jobs.
Yeah, yeah, no, I
You know,
understand.
and I look for any jobs. Basically, I want to kind of step back and see my kids
Yeah.
flourish and do the right thing, and
Yeah.
not so much do what I did, but do what they do their way,
Yeah.
but have the same results.
Yeah.
If it's all possible.
With my agents, I tell them you got two main things you need to be doing. You need to be building new relationships or deepening existing relationships. And I think when you get to a point where you've built them,
Yeah.
now you can focus on deepening them.
Keep them.
And I think that's what you're doing.
And the thing too, and again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but there's too many haters.
Oh, everywhere.
And I think maybe the pandemic had a little to do with that. People had too much time sitting on their couch, eating chips. Get out and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Be a doer. Change something. And I always told my kids, tangible goals.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have tangible goals. If you I want to be a millionaire. I want to have a house, a $20 million house on the ocean. You're not going to get that right away.
Right,
So
yeah.
you're never going to have that satisfaction of,
You got to work.
Yeah.
You got to work. So I'm going to make a segue now to a new question and answer session. We're going to call this Phone a Friend, which we're not phoning anybody.
do I get a lifeline?
You will not get a lifeline though. You have to. So I'm looking at my phone, Darius. Great job, by the way, Darius. You're doing a great job over there. I'm going to be looking at my phone, so and that's okay. But what I did was I took the liberty of finding a few people that I know you and that you have a relationship.
Do they like me?
We're gonna. You can tell me by the questions.
We'll
that they
determine
ask.
after the question.
So what I actually did was I texted them and I said, "Hey, I'm having the amazing Johnny Vazano on my show, and I want to do Phone a Friend. I want to start something. So I want you to ask the question to him, and I'm going to do it on the show." So the first question is coming from Jimmy the Thrill Soda, police officer, good
yep,
friend
yep.
from Trumbull Police. He wants to know how you started and what worked for you to become so successful.
Well, Jimmy, no, but again, it goes back to what we've been talking about for the last few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it was hard work. It wasn't too much analyzing it. I think now people analyze, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? Am I going to do this? You got to get out and do it and take a chance. Once you take a chance and you see a little reward, you give it, you do a little more and you reach out a little more. But like how it started was, it's in my blood to work for myself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I worked at Hills in Trumbull Shopping Park, 1991, for 6 hours. I went there, and my aunt was the manager of the store. It was a grocery store called Hills. Make a long story short, she says, "Okay, you have to go get the chips." I was on a lift. I was like a window washer in New York City.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, I ain't doing this. I'm 325 pounds. I don't know if the lift's going to hold me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that played a part in my life. I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to work for myself.
Sure.
I don't want to be on a lift. I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So again, being uncomfortable was not an option. I wanted to be
Do your thing.
successful and be comfortable.
Cool.
But you are uncomfortable a lot going through it to get where you want to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't get to the top without some struggles for sure. All right, the next is a group effort from the Hashemi family.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Amir, Julia, and the boys there.
Great people, by the way.
They're great.
You're not gonna find harder working people than your Hashemis. That's
No,
for sure. Yeah.
same. You know, I mean, they're obviously family,
Yeah.
but you know, love being around them, love watching their success and their growth.
Yeah.
So they want to know what ticks you off the most.
Probably Amir Hashemi. He's always so happy.
He's the happiest guy in the world.
What takes me off the most is I don't want to say slackers because I'm getting to be a slacker as I get older, but just people that make.
Wait, are you really slacking? Or are you doing what you're supposed to
I'm
do?
doing what I'm supposed to do,
Exactly.
but that's
I know what you mean.
that's not the bar I set for myself.
Gotcha.
But like I don't want to say my kids or young. But I'm just disappointed in young people. Not all of them, but they're just. I don't want to say lazy because they do other things, but like it's just they're not going to be successful unless you work hard, and there's no excuse or no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no
Yeah.
replacement for working hard.
Right,
You're
right.
not going to
No
get
substitute.
unless you win a lottery or
Right.
hit something or your family leaves you a lot of money. You're not going to make a good life for yourself unless you work hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And live, and that's
Yeah.
it.
It's hard to
So
watch.
that bothers me. I see a lot of people, these kids don't even have jobs. They got BMWs, they got Lexus.
Yeah.
I mean, really? How's that going to work out? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Pretty soon, the gas will be $10 a gallon. How are you going to fill it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you don't want to
They're going to be sitting in the.
Yeah.
And what's happening with the boats now? Right.
Crazy.
They can't take them out.
Cost $4,000 to go around the Bridgeport Harbor. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't get a slip in Zor.
Yeah.
Now they're all empty because nobody's even.
There's all plastic on the boats, and they're in the people's driveways.
They're in people's driveways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Someone's got to step in. I think the next midterm election is going to be nuts. I think it's going to.
I do too. I don't know if it's possible. I think they're all on the same team in different uniforms.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
enough.
It's just it's crazy. There's no answer. There's no rhyme or reason why we do things. Like I said, I keep going back this morning. Why would you raise the tax on diesel fuel when it's going to come right back to the consumer?
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't care about the
They
consumer.
don't care.
They want you to be
deep in their own pockets.
dependent on them, the
Yeah.
government.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you drive around, they're advertising, if you take your maternity leave, all free stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Free stuff, it's not free.
Nothing's free. If it's free, someone's paying.
We're paying.
We're paying. Right, right. All right. So next, the great Scott Appleby.
Uh-oh.
All right, the great Scott Appleby. He's my neighbor, by the way.
Scott
I
Appleby.
don't know if you know that.
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security. We could shout him out there. Wants to know if you're a Yankee or a Mets fan.
Okay. Right now I'm a Met fan.
You're a Mets. You just kind of go by.
I've always been a Met fan for the last 30 years, and he's a big Met fan. We go down to opening day a lot. Scott's a great guy.
Awesome guy.
And another hardworking guy. I mean,
Yeah.
again, the city of Bridgeport should be so happy to have a guy like him.
Oh, he's
Here's
the
a
best
guy
representation for the
Day
town.
and night, works all
Yeah.
the place. I mean, and he gives back on his time. He's in every parade. He supports my foundation. My foundation is really his foundation too because he's such a supporter.
He's such a supporter.
He's a good guy.
Listen, he's my neighbor. When we went trick or treating,
Yeah.
we got masks.
Yeah.
And how to handle
Yeah,
the COVID-19 virus.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
what he's giving out. to
Mask and
kids.
hand sanitizer.
Mask
good.
and hand sanitizer. Who's better than
Hey,
Scott? So
it's better than
so you're-
it's better than razor blades and glass. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
So-
Yeah, and Scott's a great guy and does a lot for the
He's a-
town.
he's a
so
good guy.
so he's a good one. He also wanted me to ask you about a riot that you stopped with him and Nick Ortiz. You want to talk about that?
Well, again, I hate to say I'm a good talker, but I
Yeah,
think
of course you are. Talk
I
about it.
believe in this. You got to bring people together. So there was an issue went on about 2 years ago that stuff was going on in the city, and let me tell you something. The city of Bridgeport is the best city. It's got so much great potential, and every day we're getting there. We're chipping away. I think a little too slow, but we're making it. It's a great city. You got the best police. You got the best firemen. They're great people. They work hard, but they're feeling kind of empty. So we had, I'm just going to make it go quick. We had a gentleman from out of town that wanted to come in and raise some hell.
Sure.
And instead of saying absolutely not,
Yeah.
the police and the government, which they should have said. And I'm not judging anybody, but
Right.
because they
That's
don't
what
want
should have
to,
done.
they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and
Yeah.
get a petting dog, and you got to hear them out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you really do.
Right.
But you know what? They said, listen, the only guy I can really talk to him, because I can talk to anybody, you know what I'm saying, is send me there. So I went nose and nose with him in the parking lot there was helicopters flying overhead and Scott out,
Yeah.
Homeland Security. And we hugged and made up, and it was done.
And it was done.
I said, listen, you want me, because he wanted me to, help him, and why am I not? Listen, you want to spew good things. I said, I'll have a Vazzy truck or a Catamount truck behind you giving you water in your parade. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to just break windows and destroy shit,
Yeah.
lose my number.
Totally.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
don't wanna be
That's it. I mean,
associated
there's no gray in between. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you want to do good, you want to be nice, and I get it. You have some issues, talk them out. But no one's gonna listen to you when you're damaging.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, he kind of kind of bought into it pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's like, otherwise, listen, it's over. And we talked for like a half hour.
You put it out.
It was recorded. It was on all, and it was all over the country.
Great story.
And it worked out pretty well. And then
Yeah.
they not that they thanked me, but it was just nice to let the air out of the proverbial bubble that was
Sure.
could have blew. But the guy's a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, not a great guy, but maybe he's a great guy. I didn't know him that way.
didn't know
But
him that
he's a
well.
good person. You know what I'm saying? He understood, and again, the police were good, and everybody was good, and everybody
Yeah.
kumbaya, as they say.
All is well, right?
Yeah.
All right. So last question from the great Jim Olaus.
One of the
All right.
best people in the world.
Agreed.
Okay,
Great
There's
guy.
no better guy than Jim Olaus.
Yep.
He's a.
Do you have his book? Did you read his book?
I read his book, and
Kindness Formula. A little shout out.
I have a signed copy of it.
Oh, you do. I
let
don't
me
think he signed. Did he sign mine?
No, mine's.
Mine better be signed. We're gonna go check after this.
But let me tell you right now about Jimmy Olaus, a little
Sure.
segue to whatever you said.
Yeah.
He is probably one of the nicest people and gets everything.
Yeah.
And he had some issues in his life, you know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
he talks about them and tells you how he overcame them.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
It's a great story.
You can't talk about what changed you
Yeah.
and what made you better or what makes you worse.
Yeah. What do you live? Well, you're hiding everything.
What's the difference? You
Yeah.
can't. And he's just a great guy.
Yeah, he's been a great.
I consider him a great friend.
Ditto. I mean, I still talk to him, obviously, and obviously when I texted him, he was laughing. So he wants to know what drives you to do so much. What keeps you going to keep on doing things?
I think what keeps me going to do things, and it's not necessarily diminishing, but as I'm getting older, is I want my kids to have that standard, So I
Yeah.
want to keep showing them. And I tell you, they're getting sick of it. 'Cause, one of my sons told me today, "Stop lecturing me. I get it." What I'm saying? But I want them to understand that.
Yeah.
When you let your guard down, that's when you're going to have someone
Yeah.
break in. What I'm saying,
Yeah.
and give you some bad ideas. You got to go positive. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Things are going good, and enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know when. And Jimmy will tell you, you don't know when it's going to end.
Exactly.
Shit happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I said, just I want things. I don't. You say stay the same. Nothing stays the same.
Yeah.
But you want to be comfortable and you want to be happy.
Sure.
And I tell you something. It's this whole thing in my last 3 years of my life weren't great. I had a lot of issues and shit come up in my life. But you know what? When you're comfortable in your own skin,
Yeah.
you don't give a shit.
Well, it's like nothing's bad publicity. That's the way I feel because I have people complain about this agent did this. I'm like, look,
My father
let's
used to say.
figure it out.
My
Let's
father
fix
used to
it.
say to me, when they stop talking about you got to worry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And that and every knock's a boost. But that being said,
Yeah.
it kind of wears on you.
It does wear on
You know
you,
what I'm saying? It
especially
does-
when it's false and it's people say things that aren't
100%,
true, but it's out
100%,
there. And
But you find out who your friends are.
Totally.
And I found out who my friends are. I mean, some great people out there. And you find out your friends who you thought you were best friends
they're not.
didn't give a shit less about you.
Yeah, they're not. They're
No.
just they're
Yeah.
there for the for your
ride,
sandwich
yeah,
or the
yeah,
ride. They
yeah.
want to play in your tournament, but when
Yeah.
you need them,
Yeah, and it wasn't many of them, but
Yeah, yeah,
I think
that's okay.
I think the ones that really meant it kind of kept quiet.
yeah, it only takes one to make you put
Yeah.
life into perspective,
Yeah,
right? You
that's
got
it.
one guy you thought was your guy, and he's
but,
not.
But the community, Bridgeport. I mean, they were just behind me 100%. Even during the pandemic, they came in, they bought gift cards. It was there was
Yeah.
there was more good than bad.
Yeah, no, totally. That's
But
awesome.
getting back to Jimmy's thing, you want your kids to succeed and your business to succeed, and you want to go out not on top, but like you want to go out where you came in,
Yeah.
with good
Yeah,
thoughts.
That's good. I mean, I just kind of the early stages of my broker career, and I'm like, it's all about my kids.
Yeah.
Right, like I don't really, my wife, like I don't care about much else. To be
Yeah,
honest.
but what I'm saying too, I mean, I'm gonna give you a tip, but
yeah, no, I'll take it.
I kind of missed a lot. Not so much missing a game. I went to games, but when I was at a game, I was thinking about making pizzas or doing this. So you got to really.
It's the commonality with
yeah.
everybody that I've had on this show.
I'll give you a secret. I don't know if I should talk about it on the podcast.
Go ahead, we can edit it.
But I mean, I had to go see a shrink. First time ever. I was always anti-shrink.
Oh, listen, let it out. Let
Yeah,
people know
so-
Johnny Visano's human.
Yeah,
Who doesn't? Everybody should have a shrink.
Well, anyway, I went there just to air things out.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "You got to be present." But that didn't work for me. When I was present, it kind of made me go, "Oh my God, all this." There was more pressure on me.
Yeah, anxiety,
So
right?
sometimes bulling through it and just doing it and not thinking about it is a little better. So you got to weigh your
Sure.
therapy. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying? I haven't been back since. I think I kind of like to solve my own problems.
Yeah, okay.
And I kind of think hopefully it worked. And I tell you the truth, and
Well, you know if it did.
I don't
right?
want to get religious on it, but the church was the best thing for me.
Yeah,
I don't miss it. And some days I fall asleep, and some days I walk out of there,
Yeah.
pounding my chest. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Kind of ready
but
to
that's
go.
but that's life. That's every day.
That is. And he wants to know who's your favorite all-time athletic director.
A guy named Jimmy Olaus.
Jimmy O.
Jimmy
There he
Olaus,
is.
He was the best. Like I said, he's the best. He is a family guy. He can raise more money than anybody else.
Yeah.
He could talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He,
What's that lawyer background?
but you know what
That
though?
family upbringing.
Yeah, the lawyer. He has all good qualities about him.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. You know, maybe everybody has 2 or 3 guys in your life that you can't say a bad thing about.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jimmy O.
Yeah.
And
No,
his-
100%.
And his family, great family. too.
Great. Yeah, they're the
His,
best.
his mother, my mother, my aunt, they used to play cards together, and so.
Oh, okay. So
we
you guys
we
go back.
100 years. Good man.
You guys go back.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your biggest regret? Do you have anything that sticks out, or anything that if you can go back and kind of do it over that you would do differently?
I don't want to sound like an idiot, but I probably will. But I always told my kids, if I ever died, I want to come back as myself. I enjoyed myself. I love it. I like what I do. I'm not happy a lot of times because I just worry about what I shouldn't be worrying about.
Yeah.
But I would come back as myself.
That's awesome. That means you're living.
That doesn't mean I have no regrets. Like, you know, I mean, we can analyze. I don't know what level of regrets you want to talk about, but I was, you know, I worked hard. I enjoyed my father. I had a lot of life lessons from him. You know, just the business, and the kids were good. They played hockey. They did everything. They lived their dreams out. And seeing your kids succeed at what they want to do
That's what it's about.
is a great thing. So I mean, and they laugh about it now, but I mean, I come back as myself. I don't, not that I have no regrets, but it can't get. It wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. If you hit the lotto or go to the casino and hit for $1 million, what are you doing with it?
You know, I don't know what I would. That's a good question. It's a simple question, but I would, you know, give a little bit away. You know,
Yeah.
help my kids out, and you know, give some of it to my foundation. I don't know. You know, money was never an issue with me. I always worked hard. I always had the means to earn
And do what you want to
and
do.
do what I wanted to do. I mean, I lived, I would say, below my means all the time, and I still
Yeah.
do. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, why don't you go here? Why don't you go buy a house with flat?" Because I don't want one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not that it's that easy, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I do what I pretty much want to do.
You do what you want
I
to do.
enjoy my life. I play golf once in a while. I've been a member of a country club for a while. Not that I'm a country club guy, but
Yeah.
I want to go play golf on a Tuesday at 3:00. I can go play. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I have that wherewithal. And
Sure.
I'm simple. It's like I said, the kids nowadays, you know, oh, I'd buy this. I'd buy Ferrari, Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah,
not that
it's-
great. It doesn't.
It's good to get that out of your system
Yeah,
early. Well,
yeah.
well, Johnny, I appreciate you coming on.
It was a pleasure.
Probably one of the most charitable guys I know, most
thank you.
successful, restaurateurs in the area. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And I hope that everything just kind of continues to grow for you. Your kids take the business to the next level,
I hope so.
and you enjoy the next 50 years of your
I
life.
hope so. And good luck to your business too.
Thank you.
I see it flourishing, and that's great.
Thanks you. I appreciate it. So the Expect Better podcast, follow, subscribe. Johnny Visano today. We're out. We'll see you next time.